Thank you, sir, for that very nice introduction. Made me feel like feel a little more important. Right. Well, I'm going to go into the topic for today. Perhaps some of you in the audience may be dissatisfied with your jobs and wish you didn't have to work for a living. Or maybe you wish you could start your own business, set your own hours, come in whenever you please. But before you tell your boss to go jump in a lake and never come back up, please consider these following tips that I've learned in my 4 years of being in business for myself. You want to have at least 4 to 6 months of living expenses covered. When you wave goodbye to your boss for the very last time, you're also waving goodbye to a steady paycheck. No longer are you being paid by how many hours that you're working. You're getting paid by your performance. And in the very beginning, you're not going to be performing very much because people aren't going to be beating a pat down your door just wanting to hand you money for your services. So you've got to have some expenses stored. You got to have some money saved away for some expenses. Now, a couple ways that you could have this money stored away is that you could continue to work for your present employer until you have this money saved up, or you could just get a bank loan. Next the next advice I have to give you is you want to get some education on running a business. Just because you know how to bake apple pies, teach swimming lessons, or design websites does not mean that you know how to run a business. Running a business has its own skill set. You've got other duties to be performed, such as booking appointments, coming up with pricing, balancing the books, answering the phones, making sales calls, figuring out your marketing budget, and don't forget, taking out the trash. If you don't, if you have business skills, you'll be able to perform these tasks or delegate them out to someone else. If you don't get business skills and you want to go ahead and do all this yourself, I promise you that you're going to be hating life. Okay. Number 3, exercise regularly. I see people in the audience respond to this, and it's probably about as bad as pulling teeth to some of you. But there are going to be days where you're just downright frustrated with your business. Maybe a prospect didn't follow through, or maybe your computer broke. Whatever your frustration is, you need an outlet for it. And punching the person who frustrated you in the face isn't a good outlet. Number one, it's not constructive, nor is it legal. I recommend jogging, taking a walk, pumping some iron. If you got to hit something, start taking some kickboxing lessons. Not only with doing these things help you relieve your frustration, you also sleep better at night. And how many of you would love to do that? Start establishing more contacts. The more people that you know, the more people there will be to talk about your business. If you're shy and introvert, I recommend you get over this really, really quickly. Won't be in business for very long. One way of establishing contacts is you could join your local chamber of commerce, which is comprised of other business owners. These business owners may be able to bounce some ideas off of you, which you can apply to your own business. Or they may actually get your business themselves. For example, I met another fellow website designer. She was a fellow entrepreneur through a networking website called meetup.com. We hit it off pretty well, and now she throws me business whenever she gets swamped with too much work. And last but not least, make sure you have a really, really, really positive attitude, along with some self-confidence to boot. You are about to be rejected by countless numbers of people. Fall flat on your face a million times. That is no exaggeration. Prospects are going to be rude to you. Doors are going to be slammed in your face. Family members are going to tell you that you can't do this. This is impossible. No, you're going to have a great self-image and a positive attitude to go along with it. And if you can keep that throughout all of this, all those setbacks, then you can do this. So you definitely have to pay your price when you start your own business. So please, don't take what I said lightly. I'll leave you with one parting thought. Nothing worthwhile in life has ever come easy. Mr. Toastmaster?